My name is Martin Buckland, and I'm an executive career management practitioner, and I manage the careers of senior executives, those who aspire to be business leaders, executive master of business administration, so EMBAs, and I'm a global expert in mining professionals. Today's topic is very interesting. There is a saying, first impressions count. You only get one chance to make that first impression. One chance. Don't go for a second chance because you don't get that. So, first impressions count. The original meet, whether it be online or in person, is crucial to your career management today, tomorrow, next month, next year, and even 10 or 15 years down the road. So make sure that meet, wherever it is, whether it be in person, hopefully we will get there sometime when this COVID ends, or whether it be online, makes an impact on the person at the other end. First impressions count. So not just what you say, but it's your attire. What do you wear? Are you appropriately dressed? Now, I could have come together today in just a t-shirt and shorts and with my hair all over the place. But no, my impression to you is very, very important. So I think about what I'm going to wear. If I was speaking to a business school, I might wear a suit and tie. But I'm speaking to a general audience, so this business casual is perfectly okay. So your attire, what you wear, another part of that first impression. Your hair. Now, there's been lots of stories, and I've seen some most amazing hairstyles during COVID. Several countries have been locked down for months and months and months. So your hairstylist, your barber hasn't been able to cut your hair. So there's been, my accountant, he's got really long hair. I've never seen him with long hair. But you know what? Right now, that is okay. But when we get back to some sense of normality, I hope we do, your hair is just as important as your attire. So your verbal messaging, the way you deliver verbal. Don't just sit there like a lemon and do nothing. Use your arms, be excited, be engaged. Get the viewer at the other end wanting to speak with you. Now, this is a dated term, but hopefully we will come back. We make our first impressions on a handshake. And there are many different types of handshake. Don't have a bone crusher where you crush the bones and whatever and hold on for life. That's very memorable, yes, but it's not a positive memory. You want a good, welcoming handshake and smile at the other end. Smile to the person, whoever is shaking your hand. Hopefully, we will get back to handshakes. Let's hope so. Another one today, and people haven't really thought about this, is your Zoom background or your virtual communication background. I have a variety of studios here. Each one is carefully thought about. I look to see what you, the viewer, are looking at, concentrating and in the back here. Very, very important. You don't want laundry hanging up or the kids dashing and toing and froing in the back. You want a professional background. You can download some of the applications, the virtual communication applications. You can have a background, but I've chosen mine. I always like to have a different plant. Very, very important. So your Zoom background. So let's go over those again. What you're wearing, your attire, your poise. So how do you carry yourself? Your hair, is it all unkempt? or is it neat and tidy? Even with the COVID haircuts or hair, you can have it neat and tidy. Women can put it around the back and in a bun or a bow or whatever. And some of the men are getting to that stage. It's been so long. So your verbal messaging, how I relate to you, is very, very important. Am I sharing valuable knowledge that is going to help you in your career management? Hopefully today, next week, the week after, on all my Tuesdays at 2, I will help you manage your career. And if you want a multitude of videos, please go to my YouTube channel. My name is Martin Buckland. Go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Press the subscribe button and the bell button, where you will be notified of many future videos coming down the pipeline. So your verbal messaging, your handshake, and your background when you're on virtual communication. First impressions count. Don't make a negative impact straight away. You are gone, or people will think negatively about you. When you go into a job search, you are in a race and you want to be ahead. You want to be number one in that race. So your first impressions can make a difference in your career management. Be excited, be engaged. Don't just slump back in your chair and think, oh, well, you know, the world's going to turn around. I'm going to get this job and whatever. We don't hire people who slouch, who are very negative, very, very offhand, maybe crossing their legs or whatever. They're hiring people who are engaged, who are excited, who are familiar with going online. Make sure you are familiar with going online. Hello from Saudi Arabia. Wow, we really have got a great international viewership today. Your first impression is part of your personal brand. Now, if you go to my YouTube channel, I have many videos on personal branding. Personal brand is your unique promise of value. If you slouch and whatever, your unique promise of value is going, it's diminishing. Make sure it's charged. Make sure people want it's memorable and people want to communicate with you. So your personal brand. Now, we all know corporate brands. I mean, the big one for global is, for instance, IBM or Walmart. What do you remember Walmart for? What do you remember IBM for? And then you have a personal brand. First impressions count. What is your brand? What is your unique promise of value? What is your differentiator? Why should I, if I was in a hiring position, if I was a recruiter or an HR professional, why should I hire Jean from Beirut or Alessandro from Chile or Nancy from Montreal? Why should I hire you over the other people in the talent pool? You want to be number one, and your first impression is a component of being number one. Oh, somebody local here, from Tahir. Hi, Tahir. So yeah, Yvette, thanks for the information about your YouTube channel. Yeah, please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe and press that bell button. You will learn so much just from cruising through my YouTube channel. So you need to make a positive, a memorable, a resonating impression straight off the bat, not within 40 seconds, the first 10 seconds. You need to make it snappy, going back to your attire, your poise, your hair, your verbal messaging, your handshake, if we do go back to handshaking, and of course your background. Don't make your background messy. I see so many that are terrible, all over the place. Well, what am I going to think about that person straight away? Instantly, it's a negative opinion. So you need to make that positive, most memorable impact. As I say, you only get one chance. So first impressions also relate to non-in-person. So when you have your job search, your career management, there are a number of tools that you need to have to make that first impression. Your resume, your CV, depending on where you are in the world. That is an introduction. People don't get the chance to view you in person like we are today, or see your picture before they get the resume or your CV. So make sure your resume, your CV, is up to date, is ATS, applicant tracking friendly, is a combination format, and tells me what a great person you are with performance-driven stories. First impressions count. When that resume lands on a hiring authority's desk, they pulled it out of that ATS, and you've come out, you want to make sure that they read it and they pick up the phone and give you a call for an interview, because a resume or CV doesn't get you the job, it gets you the interview, and from there on in, you can make your impression. So social media, in the last 20 years, social media has become a huge platform, or platforms, for you to make that first impression and keep that first impression in people's minds all the time by constant posting. So if you post negative comments, and that person has got to know you for the first time or seen you, you planted that negative seed in their mind, and instantly you are diminishing your brand, your first impression. Don't do that. Be careful what you post on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, even your personal pictures. Be careful what you post, and definitely LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the platform for business professionals across the world. You all need to be on LinkedIn. Photius from Geneva. Yeah, great so far. Thank you, Jeffrey. Can anyone? Yes, anybody can ask a question. So please, Tahir, please ask any questions relating to career management. Doesn't have to be relating to first impressions count. I am very, very interactive. I want you to interact with me. I am here to share my 26 years in this business as a leading global executive career management practitioner. I want you to ask me questions, and then we can open some dialogue, because what you ask me, everybody else can learn as well. So be careful what you put on social media. One negative post can count you out of an opportunity for a long time. We all remember more negative than we do positive, because you've blotted your copybook by putting on a negative post. So every post I put on, and I post frequently to social media is a best friend, because I like to educate people through social media and through venues like this. Some more venues coming up very shortly, which I will announce. So anybody got any further questions? We're wrapping this up. So hopefully you have got something from first impressions count. Have I made, to you who've come on from Saudi Arabia and from other parts of the world, have I made a positive first impression? Tell me. I have a tough skin. I want to know whether I've made that first impression. There is a real difference between EMBA, full-time MBA, and part-time MBA. Your thoughts? Now, that's a great question. So Photius is an executive master of business administration. Now, I can't answer that in full, because that's a very long-winded question. But yes, impressions are from hiring authorities as the executive master of business administrators, and you have to do them in person or online. Sometimes those modules can be at the other side of the world if they're in person. So you've got travel time. So people regard an EMBA with a lot more clout than an MBA. But having said that, an MBA you can do when you just graduate out of college or from an undergrad. You can go straight into a graduate. You can't do that with an EMBA. An EMBA admission to any business school, they really put you through the mill. They go through a set procedure. You can't just jump into an EMBA. You have to have an X number of years as a business. You have to show the ambition. You have to have the earning potential. Plus, you have to have the attitude. So hopefully that really helps you. Full-time MBA, part-time MBA, very little, but it's a different demographic generally. I totally admire Photius for going through an EMBA because it's an onerous, a very tough program. And I know that hiring authorities across the world know that it's a tough program. So what does that first impression count with them? If you've got an executive master of business administration, you can advance your career pretty fast. To be shipshape and ready for a job search, you have to have the right mentality, the right attitude. You have to treat, if you are in career transition, you have to treat that job, it's a job, as a full-time appointment. It's no use you sitting around on a couch for 2 hours, 4 hours, and thinking jobs are going to come to you. They don't. You have to go to them. The bulk of the jobs, by the way, are hidden, and that's on my videos and previous Tuesdays at 2. And you have to have the right ATS-friendly resume, CV. And in the meantime, anybody got any, if they want the free resume, CV critique, send it to me. I do say it as it is, but I will give you 30 minutes of my time. So please send your resumes to me. I will go through them. We will arrange an appointment, and have a great week. My name is Martin Buckland, and I am an executive career management practitioner.